Welcome back, everybody, to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. We are in 4th place right now, just one game ahead of the Cincinnati Reds. And I do have to amend something from the last episode on the September call-ups, as I'm about to get the notification here. I am missing one guy, so I had to move a few things around. And what I ended up deciding to do is go ahead and just pull the trigger and bring up Evan Carter to the MLB. I know I already plan on having him start next year, and for now, he'll take the place of Jack Suwinski, who is only averaging 229 through 358 at-bats. And so I think I'm just going to put Suwinski on the bench for right now. We'll move Carter up to, let's see, 4 or 5, 4 or 5. I think I like 4 better for now. And then I'm going to try to player lock until we can get a hit with them, so let's go. So we'll step into the first Major League at-bat for Evan Carter as a Pittsburgh Pirate. Currently averaging 364, but that is carryover from his previous team. And to begin with the Pirates, he will be facing Shohei Ohtani. So what a challenge here to start. Can you imagine facing one of the best pitchers in the game? It's like, hey kid, congratulations, welcome to the show. Here's an assassin for you to work against. Fantastic. Thanks, boss. Try to hold up on that sweeper inside, but that's in for 2-2 now. And we try to take it, but Ohtani gets in through the back door with a sweeper, and Evan Carter is sat down. We get a handle on that one, though, as Ohtani leaves it hanging. Goes back to left field, and it's stopped at the warning track. Nothing exciting yet for Carter, and now it's 2-1 against Emmett Sheehan. And that's a grounder to third base that is stopped, and Carter is retired for the 3rd time in this game. Down by 4, 2 men on with 1 out now. Bottom of the 8th with 1 out. Carter has a chance to get us back into the game, and we get good contact on a middle fastball. Goes back, and it is caught. A leaping grab at the wall prevents anything from continuing there. And the Dodgers do go on to take the game from us. So disappointing start, but let's keep going until we can try to get something here. Hopefully this won't be a Spencer Horwitz-type drought. That would be really unfortunate to have our new star young player. And he will pop up behind the plate. Yeah, I don't want to Horowitz this guy. I would love to just get something to crush. We'll have a defensive chance here, and Ohtani is at the plate in the top of the 3rd with 1 man on. And here we go, running back to the wall. And we're there. Carter throwing it back in. Runner stays back on first on the tag. Bottom of the 4th now with a full count now. Sung-Chae Chang on deck behind him. And could not time the slider. So Carter is sat down there, and we're on defense one more time. Teoscar Hernandez with 2 outs. And here we go. Showtime's activated. They've got the heartbeat sound. I've never done this before. I'm not sure what to do. Turns out that I bobbled the QuickTime event, and Evan Carter cannot make the spectacular catch. Wow, that really stinks. We'll throw into second, though, and we'll get Teoscar. No, come on, man. They called him safe, so that's a double instead. So, wow, that's embarrassing. I'll take that L, though. That's on me, not Carter. We get good contact there. Another middle bullseye going back to right field, and on the warning track, that one's caught again. So we know that Carter's got power. He's able to lift those out well and give him a ride, but he has not been able to firmly get one over the wall just yet. All right, so we're still in 4th place despite the 2 losses. Make it 3 as we get swept by the Dodgers. And let's see what we had going on. Not very much offensively. It's pretty spread out, I would say. Triolo with a home run. Joey Bart with a rare error. Skeens goes 6 and only allows 1 earned run. Pretty good relief, except for Bednar giving up the earned run for the loss. I do want to point out now where we are in the central standings, and I'm trying to figure out where our weakness is. It looks like we're actually only good at nighttime and just barely above 500. Everything else is pretty bad. For the National League wild card, let me see if I can find us. We got to go all the way down, and there we are. So, I want to point out here, we're 9.5 games behind, but 13 games away from elimination. So it is still technically possible, the math checks out, that we could make a wild card spot if we streak and win nearly every game for the rest of this month. We'll pick up 2 against the Brewers here to start, and I'm actually very surprised and pleased at this. Offense was pretty spread around. We had a homer from Nick Gonzalez, a few doubles, And Bailey Falter goes 6 and only allows 2 earned runs. And then Hunter Harvey picking up 3 innings of relief, scoreless, with 3 strikeouts. That's fantastic. Okay, can we sweep the Brewers? Can we do something special here? Well, let's try it. Critical situation. We've got Nick Gonzalez at the plate in the bottom of the 9th. We're down by 1. The tying run is on first base with 1 out.
That's outside.
We'll watch the fastball outside. And remember, we had pointed out that Helsley was a part of a trade not very long ago here to the Brewers, and I said, oh great, that's going to make them even tougher. And now here we are. The Crows have come home to roost, if that's the phrase. Now I'm doubting myself as I say it. Gonzalez is going to pop out to left field, though, regardless of whether I'm correct or not. And now it's 1-2 against Adam Frazier. Last chance to do something against them. And that is hit weakly into center field, barely has to move, and the Brewers prevent the sweep. So we cannot get it done. That's okay. We get an off day to rest, and then we move to Baltimore, where we are shut out 3-0. Not a good way to start that series. And for Game 2, we've got Bautista on the mound in the 7th. This is definitely interesting enough to come in. Bautista, the legendary Orioles closer, is here with bases loaded, 2 outs, and that was a terrible swing. We've got Evan Carter at the plate as well, so wow, would really love a highlight moment here from him. And he will take a shot on the shoulder to drive in the run. That's an unorthodox RBI, but I'll take it, and now Sung-Chae Chang is going to get the opportunity. It's 1-2 against him as we move forward just a little bit. 2 for 3 on the day today. And we missed the contact there. 100 miles an hour from Felix Bautista sets him down. We'll finish playing, and that is an Orioles celebration, so we drop Game 2 as well. Okay, well, I'm tired of seeing other teams celebrate. I'd like to see one of these end in us, you know, being happy. Be nice. Things we hope for in life is to have your team win and be happy. Santana takes the loss after only getting 2 outs and letting 2 earned runs come through. So not a great day for him. And we've lost the series officially already. Now trying to salvage something in Game 3 with Jared Jones. And it's another critical situation. Top of the 9th, 2 on, 2 out. We're down by 1 again. So it's been closely contested. We get a solid hit with Joey Bart right to the center fielder. And that will complete the sweep. Okay. On the wild card, here we are now, 10 games behind, 6 away from elimination. It is officially impossible for us to make the wild card now. So we can thank the Orioles for that. And we are in the bottom of the division as well. Now, moving on to Washington, and we lose 6-3. Game 2, we've got Holderman on the mound. Let's see if Holderman's gotten any better as we near the end of the series. It's 0-2. Misses up top to Nunez. Trying to protect a 1-run lead with 1 man on and 1 out. Great sweeper! And Nunez goes down. And now James Wood, the young, talented prospect out of Washington. Guy I'm very fond of. It's 1-2 against him. And Holderman got him. The cutter down in the zone. Fools him on the timing. And there's a Pittsburgh Pirates celebration. You love to see it. And Dauri Moreta is no longer injured. If you remember, at the very beginning roster breakdown, I had mentioned him, I believe, and he has not played a single inning this entire year. And Hunter Harvey was his replacement, so to speak, and he's got a 1.73 ERA over 41 innings. That is fantastic. Hunter Harvey stepping in for Moreta, really, as a talented closer. Has done phenomenal. Majinski, I wanted to take a peek at his development and say that, yeah, through 47 innings, a 4.56 ERA, he's going to be the guy I think that's going to get replaced by Dauri Moreta. Majinski just has not had it at the MLB level, and so we're going to send him back down now with the return of Moreta. All right, so then Chicago is up next, and we've already got a critical situation. Bases loaded for Josh Hader. All right, so Nick Gonzalez at the plate, ahead 1-0. Chicago with a 3-1 lead. Contact by Gonzalez, and it's fair. It goes to the wall in left field, and Gonzalez has tied the game. Runner on third, advancing for home. 70 speed on the way, and he's out. No. Oh, I thought we were going to walk it off on a Gonzalez double. Instead, out at the plate, tie game, 2 outs, and Triolo now at the plate. And that is weakly driven over to third base. A casual out number 3 to keep Chicago in the game and push extras. And we'll just go ahead and, I think, sim the rest of this. And Chicago will celebrate the victory. And that's disappointing. Wow. All right. So we ended up tying it, losing the game, moving on to game 2. Another situation, this time for my good old pal, Porter Hodge. But I think I'm just going to sim it. And we win. Hey, 3-2. I'll take that. Split the series so far with Chicago. What about game 3? Bailey Falter gets the start. And that is a chance for us to close it with Holderman one more time with a 1-run lead. Let's do it. We step into the top of the 9th. Holderman protecting a 1-run lead, 0-2 against John Birdie. Weakly hit to third base, played by Hayes. The throwback over to first, and we nail him. All right, the Pirates win, and we do end up taking the series versus Chicago. Finally, a team celebration that we can enjoy. However, we have been officially, not officially, I'm looking at the E on the screen, officially eliminated from wildcard contention. So we'll get back and try to finish this. We've picked up Game 1 versus the Athletics. Here in Game 2, Andrew Heaney will get the start. And critical situation as Mason Miller tries to hold on for the Athletics and keep their 2-0 victory. Let's step in. We've got Evan Carter stepping back to the plate. He's 1 for 6 in the series so far. That hit coming today as a single. So 2 men on to tie the game. Carter representing the go-ahead walk-off run with 1 out, and that's 102 at the top of the zone. Mason Miller is a scary guy. And I timed it. Look, that's not my fault. Good timing. Contact was just weak. Want to start pointing that out because with the whole Spencer Horwitz thing, I swear, okay, that was good timing as well. That's not my fault either. 101, and I was not behind it. Anyways, since I can't hit with Spencer Horwitz, I feel the need to prove, just to satiate my ego here, that I can actually hit. That one wasn't my fault. Spencer Horwitz I just can't hit with for some reason. I think it's just a curse of some sort. There's a hex on this team specifically for when I bat with Spencer Horwitz. Pretty sure that I'm like 0 for 12 or 0 for 15 or something with him. I don't feel like doing the math because that's depressing. But Evan Carter's going to strike out in the meantime, and Mason Miller is now 1 out away from successfully closing this game. Brian Hayes has been hit by a pitch today. And wow, even on the strikeout, I had good timing. Down on the bottom left, you can see that. Not my fault. We'll watch that one inside at 100 miles an hour. Chance of Let's Go Bucks echoing in PNC Park as we try to maintain some dignity. And we watch that. It is a called strike. 101 on the outer edge to even it at 1-1. Come on now. Give us something to hit, Miller. That's at the top of the zone again. 101 miles an hour. And now Hayes is behind and down to the last strike. 1-2. Miller delivering. No, the slider. God, that thing is just so hard to pick up, both in the game and in real life, from what I imagine, and the A's take the victory. So we split the series so far, and here in Game 3, Skeens gets the start, and I saw it was an L, and the AAA Indians finished the season and did not make the postseason. AA did, however, at 72-66. Good for them. So we did take the loss, lose the series versus the Athletics. You know, it's funny we can win against Chicago in such close games, and then the Athletics is who we lose to. We drop one game versus Cincinnati. AA has won the Eastern League Southwest Division Playoff Series. Colt Emerson in AA no longer injured, so maybe they'll get a little stronger here. And that's a series loss against Cincinnati now. Okay, they are starting to pile up. We've only got 2 series victories this month so far. We do avoid the sweep, 3-0 in Game 3. Nice for us. We drop Game 1 versus Atlanta, and it goes back to another loss surrounding a win kind of scenario. Just, we can't pick up a string of victories except for the very middle of the month there. We had those 3 in a row. And yeah, there's another loss, another series loss, that is, versus Atlanta. And we have now the final game of the year. It will be slightly condensed, but we're going to watch most of it. So for the final game of the year, it's against the Atlanta Braves, who finish at 97-64, barring one last result. They are first in the NL East. We are fifth in the NL Central, and oh gosh, 1 for 6 over our last 7 games. Yeah, it's that grim. And we are facing Chris Sale. The Braves, probably their ace here in the simulation without keeping track. It's hard to tell, but he's pitching incredibly well, as expected from Chris Sale. And we begin with Oneil Cruz down 0-2. And that is one of the ugliest swings that I could imagine us ever taking. That's really, really bad stuff right there. Now with Brian Reynolds. And we get contact there, and it goes into right field. Reynolds has a 2-out single in the top of the first. And we notch our first thing against Chris Sale. First measure of success, maybe I'll say it that way. Triolo weakly grounded off of that contact to second base, and we are out of the first. We do not score on Sale. We're putting up Jared Jones today in our final game, who has actually pitched by the numbers a little bit better in some categories here. He's got a better ERA than Chris Sale does entering play, and he's ahead of Michael Harris 0-2, and challenges him with 99 miles an hour. A little elevated there, but still in the middle. And let's try going away from him again. Got him! The perfectly placed circle change will sit down Michael Harris. And that's a good start. 2 outs now for Ronald Acuna. We've only thrown 8 pitches with Jones so far. It's been a swift first inning. Hit hard to Chang, who's going to throw it way above first base. Bart is there quickly. Great job, presence of mind to back up where he should, and that's an error from Chang. So 1 man on now with 2 outs for Ozuna. That's in the dirt. Bart going after it. Runner on the move. The throw to second, and it's not in time. Okay, so now runner in scoring position off of an error and a wild pitch. We should have been out of here already. It's 2-2 against Ozuna. And we nail the top corner. Yes! That is a good way to get out of it. That's a really tough pitch to do anything with. We move to the top of the second now for Joey Bart, and he hits that very well into the gap in left center field. It will bounce off the wall, and Bart will have a 2-base leadoff hit. I didn't really have an advanced plan on what I was going to say there, and that came out really awkwardly in stagger step. Sorry about that. And now the moment maybe for Evan Carter as he is behind 1-2. No, there's that slider again from Sale, tracking away, and he gets us. Carter is sat down on the strikeout. And now Sung-Chae Chang looking to make up for that error, possibly. Down 0-2. Nope, it's the slider again, rearing its ugly head. Their Sale's looking good. 0-2 now for Nick Gonzalez. He can't trail the slider away from us now. It's going to break inwards. Yeah, and that'll work anyways. Fantastic. What can you do against that pitch, man? It's so tough. Chris Sale's just so good. All right, we'll get a slider strikeout of our own against Austin Riley. A good pitch there from Jared Jones, although it caught a little too much of the plate. And now against Sean Murphy with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. That doesn't go where we wanted it to, but it's snagged at first base for no crowd reaction. Absolute dead silence there on a spectacular defensive play. And we show here, we've got 2 hits, they've got none, as we move into the top of the third now with Spencer Horowitz. My permanent kryptonite, and we're ahead 3-1. Maybe we can at least get on base. I've taken a walk with him before, just never hit. And yeah, we let the slider track inside. That's ball 4. Spencer Horowitz on base now. So we might have something cooking here with a runner on to lead off the top of the third. Oneil Cruz, as the lineup turns over, gets a bloop, and it does not drop down. Ran through by center fielder. And now 1 out, 1 man on for Ke'Bryan Hayes. The count is also 1-1. Good one to hit there, but it's weakly grounded to shortstop, and they will turn a double play to get him out of it. Sale still clean through 3. Bottom of the third now for Jared Jones. Only 23 pitches thus far. The pitch count has been great. I know the first inning was extended. And that's hit. Triolo jumping, and he doesn't get it. Carter played in center field. Has a moment of paralysis out there. Finally throws it back. 0-2 against Arcia. And that's hit well. Triolo, the feed to Chang, who gives it back, and we've got him. A double play in the bottom of the third to wipe the bases clean. We'll skip ahead now, bottom of the fourth with 2 outs. The count is 3-1 against Ozuna. And he hits that hard in the right field. And Carter, shifted over closer to center, will not be able to play it quick. And that is going to be a 2-out double for Ozuna. Atlanta now in danger of their first score against us. And it's going to have Matt Olson at the plate for this situation now, 1-0. And that will go through center field off of the mound. And they're going to try 30 speed going home. Cruz with the throw in, it's offline. And Atlanta scores the first run of the game. Now 1-2 against Riley. Still runner at first. And we get him on the slider, trailing away. 1 run for Atlanta. And we move into the middle innings now. Bottom of the fifth. Once more for Jared Jones. Weekly fouled away on the circle change for Sean Murphy. Jones ahead now 0-2. Pitch number 48. And we get him. The slider way above the zone. Had him fooled on the timing and location. That's a great pitch. And now, top of the sixth, again for Spencer Horwitz, who we've previously gotten on base with. But man, it's the last game of the year. Just let me hit once with this guy. That's all I want. It became one of my goals throughout the season as I proved time and again that I couldn't do it. I want to. Let me have a hit with him. He's got 68 vision. I should be getting plenty of contact. Well, there it is, but it goes right to first base, and Spencer Horwitz is down again. Moving to the bottom of the sixth now. Jared Jones still pitching extremely well. The lineup is turned over for Michael Harris. And it goes weakly past Chang into center field for Cruz, and that's a leadoff single. And now we begin worrying a little bit about Jones. Not that he's pitched badly, but if they're hitting him and we need to keep this in line, no, Cruz can't get there. That will bounce off the wall. 70 speed running home, and Atlanta surely will score their second run of the game. What I just mean is when it starts getting away, they start making more contact, or Jones can't hit his spots, whatever the case may be. Here in the middle innings, you start to have that thought. Is it time? Switch him out. Cruz underneath. Runner stays put at second base, and we've got 1 out. Marcell Ozuna coming back to the plate. 1 for 2 today. Hit hard. Cruz going back to center field wall. We get the meter. It's in green, so I jump, and it's way off the time. What's the point in having that bar there telling me when green means go to jump if it's going to be 4 seconds before that ball lands? That doesn't work. That's not my fault. I'm not taking the L on that. We will go ahead and bring in Dowry Moreta, and I wanted to see him because he has been absent for all of 2024. We started the season with him on the IL, and he made it back just in time for the last game of the year. Could this be the reinforcements that we need? He'll get a line drive, and Carter's underneath it. Matt Olson sat down. Interesting question, because I don't know much about Moreta, but, you know, could he have improved our play this year, you know? Could he have contributed to maybe a few more wins? We weren't really that far out of the wild card, so we were about where I expected to finish this year, but, you know, the question has to linger. Moreta was a very highly rated reliever in our system that we never got to use, so I wonder. I don't know. If anybody has any thoughts, let me know. So it's now 4-0 in the top of the eighth. Sung-Chae Chang versus Aaron Bummer as they have tapped into their bullpen. Chang lifting that high into left field, and that's a fly out. Okay, 1-2 now. Well, not a fly out, a foul ball. Some of these terms in my brain seem interchangeable until I say them and recognize, no, they're not. And Chang is going to find the gap in right center field. That is going to be a leadoff double. There you go, Chang. Good job, kid. At least I can hit with somebody. Nick Gonzalez now with a chance to drive him home and nobody out. Aaron Bummer delivers and hits him. He delivers a punch right to the top of the shoulder. Gonzalez not happy about it, but you know what? I'll take the base runner, but here it is again. Oh boy. Spencer Horwitz at the plate one more time, possibly the last time in regulation here in 2025. We'll watch the sweeper. Not fooled on that by Bummer. Horwitz ahead 1-0. Swing and a miss at 94 on the top side of the zone to even the count back up. Watch the sweeper again. Good discipline, trailing away. 2-1. That one I wanted a piece of, and we don't time it that well. We're early, so it's 2-2 now. Spencer Horowitz will watch ball 3. We run the count full. Competitive at bat. And we do finally make contact, but it's lifted to left field, and that is the first out of the top of the 8th. Still cannot hit with Spencer Horowitz. Despite putting together good at-bats, taking a walk earlier today, just doesn't work for us. O'Neal Cruz now cannot lay off the sweeper, but that's going well into foul territory. And it's caught? What? They're going to switch pitchers, but no, hang on. No. I'm going to bring up the replay on that because that was obviously in foul territory. Let me find it. Okay, where is it at? Where's the ball? It's right there. Okay, watch that ball. Obviously in foul territory. I can't even talk right. I'm so angry. I have the camera in the field looking out into foul territory and behind the net. And let me try to get a good angle. I'll move it. Here we go. Look at it transporting like it's being sucked through a vacuum straight into the glove. Are you kidding me? What? This should never be possible. It drops straight down and then starts getting sucked over right into the glove like it's coming down the drop like a roller coaster for the first time. You know, the clank, 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 all the way up, and then it goes down. Everybody's screaming because we're witnessing black magic fuckery right here. I don't normally cuss on this channel. I try to keep it more professional, but this can only be described as absolute voodoo magic. Unreal. I've never seen that happen. Wow. Top of the 8th with 2 outs now. Key Brian Hayes. And that will not get through. It stopped it short, and Hayes cannot leg it out. Wow. If that would have gone through, we would have been able to score. Instead, we're sat down. And David Bednar will come in now off of an amazing season for us. I really could not be happier with Bednar. And it's the bottom of the 8th for him. Should be the last time that we see Atlanta unless we can mount the comeback in the top of the 9th. So Bednar, off of 1 pitch, will get an out. Hard to do better than that. Pretty easy. Now ahead 0-2 against Acuna. And Hayes will play that at third base. Acuna's down. So here we go. Quick results for Bednar. Still efficient here at the end of end of the year. And we got him. A curveball that will just dip right into the zone. It floated beautifully down into the lower corner. And it's the top of the 9th with 2 outs. Count is 2-2 for Bart. And that's hit well. It goes through past Pierce Johnson into center field, and we're not quite done yet. 2 outs with a base runner, and the Braves will opt to bring in Wander Suero. Hopefully that's how you say that. Hang on, the announcer might help me. Nope. Okay, we'll skip past. So it's 1-2 against Evan Carter as the final batter of the 2025 season. He hits it well. Good timing, good contact, but he's too far underneath it. The launch angle doesn't help us out, and that is the final out that we will see this year from either team as the regular season is over and the postseason's coming up for a few select, lucky, well-earned individuals. The Braves win the game, the last game of the year. And that is a disappointing end to year 1, but not an unexpected end. I do think that we've got a lot to show for year 2, and I can't wait to get to it. I will be doing a breakdown video of some of the year-end stats and ratings and placings on how we kind of did overall. That'll be the next video. So for now, we end on a terrible last month of baseball at 72-90, and we will recap in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this journey, and I can't wait to get started in year 2 here with the Pittsburgh Pirates.